Hello, my beautiful friends. It has been a hot minute since I've been here, but here I am. It's been a little crazy because my energy has been a little weird. It's been a little wonky. And as we head into the 4th of July tomorrow and, the festivities that go along with it, I'll be in a really hot parade wearing wool and playing bagpipes while walking up a hill. Why don't I play the flute? I don't know why. Bagpipes are so much. But I've been in weird energy. Like, I feel very disconnected. So, I don't know why. I think I had a series of just day after day, like, really rough runestone readings. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on with my energy. I do kind of know what it was about. And I think that's resolved as far as it's going to be. But seriously, dudes, that was some hot stuff. So let's read and see if anything has changed, shall we? All right, we've got our Ariana stones. Asking Spirit to come in and just give us whatever messages are good for the collective. Remember, this is a general read. If you want a personal read, you can contact me below, and we'll get connected. And this may resonate with me or may resonate with you. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So, Spirit, what is our current energy? All right, our current energy is Kinaz. And Kinaz means torch. That's what it means. It means torch. And it means vision, a revelation, like something is coming to you. Right? So, technical ability, it also kind of means sometimes. And my job is technology, so maybe that's what it's talking about. But it means torch or light, vision, seeing something. What got us to this? What got us to this space? Othala. I get Othala a lot. So, Othala, sorry, things ding constantly over here. Othala means like heritage or your land of your birth, places, your ancestors. And I do a lot of ancestral work. So, my ancestors are totally light the path. And maybe I've kind of felt a little disconnected to them the past few days. Let's see. What are the forces that we can't control? That's our next stone. What can't we control? What's out there that we just can't impact? And, I have to cough. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I have to cough. I have horrible allergies and, wow. So, Ingwaz, and it's spelled different ways, and some people call it Ingwar, but I call it Ingwaz. This means like fertility and growth. So, you're in this space and you have to grow. Like that's something you can't control. Whether you can resist it, but you're still going to grow in some way, good or bad, right? So that's what that means. Okay. And then we look at what you can control, what's in your wheelhouse that you can impact. We have Lagus, which means flow. So you can control the pace. If you're making a change, you can control sort of the energy and the flow of it. And you can decide whether to get hung up on rocks or whether to flow on through or create a new pathway for yourself. And what is the potential outcome? Remembering that runestones do not predict the future. These are not tarot stones. We have Isa, which is ice, which means that you can get stuck. You might be on a slippery slope. But you think ice too is essential to the earth, right? So we need ice in our life. Sometimes we need to be sort of, kind of stuck so that we can see things. You can also, be a creative ice dancer, and use ice to your advantage. But just remember that if you do get stuck, ice melts. So, things will keep moving along. So, and it's funny that it comes right after this idea of water moving. Your water might get stuck unless you prevent it or unless you need it. Sometimes you need to pause a minute and see and reflect, and that might be necessary. So I'm going to just take a minute to think about all this, put it all together, and I'll be right back. So when I'm thinking about the stones, what I'm really, really thinking about is that we are called through either like DNA or from family things, if you have family things going on. And family can also mean friends, right? People that you're close to, right? So, you're in this space and you feel like you know, that you're really motivated by something. And that can be good or bad, right? I was thinking today, because I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. I tell everybody I love them. I mean, you've been on the channel, you know, I love everybody, right? I hug everybody. But I didn't come from a family of huggers. In fact, there wasn't a lot of physical affection in my growing up as a child. I didn't have that, you know. I look at my children, I hug them all the time. They're older now, so they don't appreciate it as much. But I wasn't hugged as a child. Nobody like carried me around. There wasn't that for me or my brothers. So when I was in high school, this kid, and I didn't know him. I was like a freshman, and he was a senior. He had bought a ring for a girl that he really really liked, and he was, I don't know if it was a promise ring or whatever, but like she was going to break up with him, and he had bought this ring, and so he got drunk, and then he hit a tree and he died. And I don't remember any of their names, and I didn't know them, but I just remember hearing about it from like the counselors. I mean, I'm Gen X. We did not have assemblies about this sort of thing, but I remember, you know, just thinking how devastating that was. And so I wouldn't leave the house unless I gave my parents a kiss on the cheek. I had to give it, and they were like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like I remember the first time I kissed my mom on the cheek and said, "I love you, Mom," and she was like, "What are you doing?" You know, but I'm like, listen, I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name was Mike. Mike died. So I'm going to kiss you every time I leave the house, Mom, because I want you to know that I love you. And I've been like that ever since. So I hug everybody. I'm super loving. And sometimes people take that the wrong way because, you know, they might think that I'm flirting or I'm, you know, like I'm trying to, I don't know, get in their pants or something. And I'm not. Like, I'm so beyond that. I'm such a crone. Like, that's not even part of my wheelhouse. So I was just thinking about that today. So there's sort of that ancestral, like, you know, I'm breaking that cycle of not being affectionate, and I'm affectionate, and I want everybody to be affectionate appropriately, right? Like, if I know you don't want to be hugged, or I know you're not a toucher, or, you know, whatever, I won't hug you. You know, and it's not like a slimy hug. It's a, you know, pat, whatever. So anyway, so I was thinking about that today, and you know, that's really, I think, part of being a loving, kind person is accepting that you do things for a reason that's in your personal wheelhouse or your collective of stories that you have that make up your life. And you know, and there's nothing to be ashamed about, but definitely this having come up in thought is, you know, just helping me to think about, you know, some people don't like huggy loving people. You know, they think it's fake or it's not genuine. And I've certainly encountered people like that in my life, who are fake in the way that they attribute affection or give affection, or there's some kind of exchange that they want, right? Like that hug isn't for free. You got to do something for it. And I don't necessarily mean something sinister, but you know, I think some people like are shamed into hugging or shamed into doing things for people because they feel some sort of obligation. And I have felt that way this past week. As some of you who've watched the channel know, you know, there's an energy in my life that that's being very difficult and family related. And I would have at one time in my life felt very obligated, because I was always the peacemaker in the family. That was my job. I was to make peace between my brothers and my parents. My parents, when they divorced, that was always my job, that I literally moved away. I literally got out of Dodge and moved 3 states away so that I could get out of that energy, because I didn't want to be part of that. And it's kind of come back around, and like, I feel like, you know, because of my love for my dad, I feel like I should do something. But then I have to look at the actions of the person, and the actions of the person are inappropriate, and not my circus, not my monkeys, right? But in doing that, I want to make sure that I don't become like hard-hearted. I still want to make sure that, you know, I recognize this person is lonely, and I've sent materials to the person so that they can get friends that are their age, that they can hang out with and do stuff with. You know, I can be kind, but still not get wrapped up into the narcissism, which is absolutely what's going on. You know, and that, you know, just because I am kind and loving doesn't mean I'm a mat to walk on. It also doesn't mean that I have to do anything, because, you know, I'm very loyal to my family. I'm very friendly, if you can't tell. But my circle, my inner circle of people that I like really am connected to, that's actually very small. I'm very social when I'm at work. I'm very social when I'm in public. But when I'm at home, I'm very much a homebody. I'm not a party girl. I've never been a party girl. You know, I keep my inner circle is very tight. It's very small, and it includes my family and good friends that are my family. So I think that this is just a reminder to Spirit that I'm on the right track, but I want to be careful not to get hard-hearted and not be unsympathetic or not empathetic to the parts of this that are truly worth being compassionate about. So I don't know if a situation exists like this in your life, but if it does, just remember, you know, be you and stay focused. And now the neighbor is going to cut the lawn. So let's pull some cards and see if Spirit has anything to add. Spirit, do you have anything else to add? Independence Day is about freedom, and I think I am trying to reconcile that I am free. I am free to not put up with the nonsense on any level, right? People who are just unpleasant and unhappy, you know, people who are narcissistic and think the world is all about them. I'm not about it. All right, Spirit. 3 passes. If nothing comes out, nothing else is meant to be added to this from this deck. So here we go. Pass 1. Pass 2. And pass 3. Okay. We have Bloodwed and we have Celestial. So Bloodwell is wisdom, power, and transformation. And Celestial is cosmos, creation, and spiral. So again, I think this is just really like you're going to need wisdom to kind of like, it's really the wisdom is in the differentiation and in the discernment, right? Like, because we can get really scooped in by narcissistic people. We can get really undertow with their nonsense. And it's a balance between being compassionate and empathetic and being walked all over and drawn into nonsense. And I know that I've struggled with that my whole life because I've always been put in the position of being the peacekeeper. And I'm not the peacekeeper. You know, like, that's not my role. I'm a peacekeeper for my own family, like my own children. But, you know, and I think, oh, my cat is attacking me. Honey, stop it. So, you know, I think that it's not my job to always to have to fix things. And in this particular person's case, it's not my job at all. That, you know, I have to sort out, you know, empathy from, you know, being sucked under with the nonsense. So let's look at Earth Wisdom and see what Earth Wisdom has to say. Three passes. If anything comes out, it's meant to add to the reading. If not, we move on. Pass 1. Jeez Louise, that one flew. Pass 2. Cat went to go eat it instead of my feet, so that's positive. And pass 3. All right, we've got lots of cards. We have awareness. I'm aware. Understanding. So I need to be understanding. And divine love. We're all loved divinely, right? We are. And we need to share divine love. So, and that's tricky. I have to get this card out of the mouth of my cat. What are you chawing on, buddy? Oh, I get this practical intuition, right? So, you know, it's really, again, about knowing, you know, knowing where the line is. And sometimes that can be really, really hard. But, you know, if you tap into divine love, and remember that this person, you know, who is, you know, being a pain in your rumpus, they're also divinely loved, right? They're also here on a path to learn things. And so your gentle guidance towards, you know, maybe help. I mean, it's really hard with narcissistic people because they really don't see and they really don't listen or pay attention or want to, because it is a mental illness, really. So, you know, so there's a limitation to what you can do, but perhaps your kind word, cased in very careful direction, will help them find the right path. So I think, I'm just, hardening my heart because I come from a hard-hearted family. So it's always easy to kind of slip back into that because my family wasn't lovey and gushy, and there was always anger, and there was always somebody you were mad at, and somebody that was the focus of the anger and stuff like that. And there was also always there always had to be an exchange. Like, love was never free. You had to do something. Like, I love you, but you have to come change my light bulb, or I love you, but you need to pay my electric bill. Stuff like that. So love is free. There are no attachments. Love is free. Spirit loves us. We love others. It's free. There's no exchange necessary because it just is flowing. And so you don't want it to get caught up in ice. You want it to let it flow freely. But you also just want to be cautious because some people will take advantage. And so you just need to, redirect around that rock and flow a different way. So I am wishing you all the very best in light and love. Please like and comment and tell me if this resonates with you. Wishing you the best. Happy 4th of July if you're in the States. Be well. Bye-bye.